Hard sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Grit high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Monday, October 30th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. Also joined, as always, by Marcus Fine. What are you up to, 82 shows?
82.
82. And then also joined from the Heated Shenanigans podcast, Scott Hulett. Going to talk about a big event coming up this Friday night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Scott, what can you tell us about this big show Friday night? How did this all come about?
Well, this show is incredibly personal to me for a lot of reasons. I have known a few individuals that have suffered from muscular dystrophy for, well over a decade now. And it's a disease that unfortunately starts out primarily in children and progressive. Now, the life expectancy varies. I mean, people are different. It's a case-by-case basis. And some people don't get to live past their early to mid-20s or 30s. And that's incredibly too short. And this show, which is taking place on Friday, November 3rd at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds right here in Lafayette, we are going to do something about muscular dystrophy, and we're going to help raise money for that cause. We are partnered with the MDA on this event. They have been incredible to work with. I cannot say enough nice things about them. And we're going to do our part with our platform and DCCW's platform to help raise not only money, but awareness for a disease that is, well, it's terminal. There's no cure for any form of muscular dystrophy at this time. And it's a completely loaded show, top to bottom, the best of the best. I mean, when Jared and I sat down to look at this card, we went out with the help of Dustin Davidson, my incredibly close friend and partner on this. We went out and got the best talent that we could for this event. And we have WWE Hall of Famer Devon Dudley, WWE legend Victoria will be live signing the entire show. This isn't just you got a couple hours to meet them. No, they're going to be there for the show, and they're there to meet the fans and also help raise money and awareness.
That sounds fantastic. Can you tell us some of the matches for the show?
Yeah, the big one, the one everybody's been talking about, the main event is going to be Eric Dillinger, School of Rock graduate from the legendary Billy Rock School, versus Matt Brannigan. Now, for those of you who may not be affiliated with Matt Brannigan, he has been all over the United States, one of the absolute best in professional wrestling. And he's had a couple of appearances, I believe, on AEW as well to his name. And it's going to be an incredible atmosphere with those two. Eric, as well, does have a sister that suffers from muscular dystrophy. So this is an incredibly close show for Eric and his family. And a little backstory, I did not know, in the time I've known Eric, I did not know that his sister suffered from that. And when I sent him the message about the show, he immediately responded, he's in. And I was so happy that Eric agreed to do this show, because I think the absolute world of Eric Dillinger. I think he is a phenomenal talent, and he's an even better person.
I agree. He's one of the top talents on the independent scene. I mean, I've seen him a few times. Just outstanding. I haven't seen a whole lot of him recently around this area, but I know he goes all over and can wrestle almost any type of match. Also,
Oh yeah, Swiss Army knife. You put him in there with a broom, you're going to get a banger out of it.
yeah. Marcus, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, I do. Will there be a representative from the MDA there to kind of oversee this, or?
So we're working on that. The Indianapolis chapter was condensed. It is no longer in Indianapolis. The closest one that we have is in Illinois, which is who I've been working through, is the chapter in Illinois. They are working on providing a representative for that show. Again, travel could be an issue. I'm hoping that they can get somebody there for the show. They're going to try, but at this moment, no, not at this time, but they're working on it.
Ticket prices. I know you got tables up. Go ahead and give us the rundown of your tickets. I'll let you do that.
Yeah. Front row is going to be $50. Second and third row will be $25. The remainder of the floor seats will be $15. Bleacher seats are $10, and we do have VIP tables that will be, I believe they're marked as $350. But with that's a group of, I believe, 8 people. You get guaranteed early access to meet Devon and Victoria. You also get care packages from our sponsors, and some of the options that you could get: McAllister's gift cards, IMAX movie tickets to East Side 9 here in Lafayette. There's a decorative rock company, Reed Rocks, has donated a decorative Purdue rock. I know Purdue's pretty big here in Lafayette. But I definitely want to say that this show does not happen without the generosity of the sponsors here that help make this. Hooters in Lafayette, Hampton Inn by Hilton, Executive Cuts Barbershop, Pace Dairy Foods of Crawfordsville, Infinity Toys and Collectibles, Evil Genius Tattoo Club, Neon Cactus, have all come together as a community to help us put this show on, and they have been, each and every one of them have been incredible to work with.
That sounds awesome. What time do doors open, and what time is the show?
Doors going to open at 5 p.m. The show will start at 7 p.m. Throughout the time, there's going to be the meet and greet opportunity with Devon and Victoria. In addition, there's going to be live music. We have Barney Mugger's street band is going to be performing, as well as Mike Bradley, who is one of the absolute best artists in the city of Lafayette, Indiana. His work is available on Spotify. I would highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're a wrestling fan. A lot of great rap music that he does themed around professional wrestling.
Sounds very interesting. Yeah. So you said doors will open at 5 and bell time at 7.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's for anybody at 5. It's not the VIP.
Yeah, everybody can get in at 5. The VIP people, we will get them their first access with Devon and Victoria. We have 2 VIP tables remaining. So if you're going to act, now would be the time, because when they're out. We got to make room. And we've had a lot of interest. People from all over the state of Indiana are coming to this, which is incredible. And it makes me so happy to know that there's so much excitement for this cause and to help the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Yeah, it's a great cause. Go ahead, Marcus.
VIP includes the front row or just the tables?
The table it's going to be ringside. All 8 of you would be ringside.
Okay.
How many tables are you putting up?
I think Jared's wanting to do 3. So we have sold 1. So we have 2 left. So it's first come, first serve. So if you're hearing this or you're listening to it between now and the show, feel free to reach out to Jared or myself on social media. Our phone numbers are both on the flyer as well, which can be found on DCCW's Facebook page. It is literally plastered all over my Facebook page, so it should not be too hard to find.
Could you tell us maybe a couple more matches for the show?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're going to have Lafayette's own Brett Havoc and Dale Patricks are going to be squaring off for the first time in a long time. Brett was one of the first people that I wanted to reach out to for this show. And Brett is a tremendous talent. And I think the absolute world of Brett Havoc, I think the absolute world of Dale Patricks, another School of Rock graduate, the legendary School of Rock. Another match we have is going to be a Neon Cactus street fight featuring Joey Owens versus Mike King. And I said it when I made the announcement. At the end of this one, it's going to be hard to tell the winners from the loser.
Yeah, that feud's never going to end. A match that I'm real excited for is the DCCW titles. I believe in a 4-way. That's really interesting. Could you give us some backstory on that?
So the match, to my knowledge, is a first. I could be wrong. Please do correct me. But the DCCW United States Championship, as well as the DCCW Heavyweight Championship, will be on the line in a fatal 4-way. The champion that gets pinned will lose his championship. If Dalton gets pinned, he loses his freshly won world championship. If Luke gets pinned, Luke loses the United States Championship. We could have a brand new champion for either of the belts.
Okay, so the winner's not getting both belts. It's whoever pins the champion will get the belt. Yep. Okay, we misunderstood that. We thought they were going to combine those titles. And
no, don't worry. I misunderstood it when I posted it, and then Jared told me about it. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, because we're like, are you serious? You're going to combine the titles? It's like, okay, but that makes more sense now. So
if one of the champions don't lose, then the champions just hold on their title.
Yes.
And probably become number one contender. I'm just thinking out ahead. But
Marcus over here putting down some booking decisions.
Yeah, next year. What kind of concessions are you going to have?
We're working on that. Meyer actually has been incredibly generous to help with that. Jared and I need to stop by and kind of browse the options there. We haven't got anything locked in stone yet because we need to kind of see what's available, but we are working on having food at the event. Yes.
Any kind of raffles? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes.
Oh, no. Yeah. We're going to have raffles. 50-50s, raffles. And again, every dime that we raise at this show is going to the MDA. And we want to try to make the absolute biggest impact. One thing, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but with the MDA, the money that they receive, not only does it go to first and foremost finding a cure or treatment, but it also helps pay for camps. And muscular dystrophy camps are so crucial to those with MDA because they don't have the people that suffer from this. They don't have the ability at a young age to go play sports or ride bikes long periods of time or do a lot of physical activity because unfortunately that they do have limitations they have to overcome. The camps help teach them skills and give them the ability to learn new things that they can do that is safe for them to do. And that's so important for them.
Yeah, because MDA, I mean, of course, there was Jerry Lewis telethons for years. I mean, I don't think they have them much anymore. But yeah, I mean, I can remember as a little kid, I mean, on Labor Day weekend, that's what you had cookouts and then you watched the Jerry Lewis telethon. So, I mean, MDA used to really be, I don't know what the right word, not popular, but more out in the forefront in society. It's not out there like it used to be. And I know there's no cure, so I know it's I'm not saying it hadn't got better, but I mean, there's still no cure for it. So it still needs to be brought to the forefront and help. People still need help.
Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do. Like if we could get something started, if somebody's able to pick up the ball with this and make this an annual thing, we want that. We want there to be some type of awareness campaign, fundraiser to help. And I will let the cat out of the bag. We've been doing media appearances for this for a while. While you guys are our favorite appearance to do this on, we do have a big one. WLFI has agreed to pick up and interview Devon, Victoria, and myself on Wednesday. We will be on WLFI News. In addition to Star City News has agreed to do a feature on this. And it just, I can't tell you how much it means to me to get this cause in front of the entire city of Lafayette and further. And we're aiming for a sellout. Like we're not aiming to put 50 people there, 100. We want to sell out that building for these kids, for this cause.
Well, I understand it's a great cause, no doubt about it. And you got maybe a couple more matches you can give us.
The other match I know that we have signed is Josh Crane versus Sage Phillips for the Wrestle Nerds Internet Domain Championship. God, I hope I didn't mispronounce that championship. It's a long one, but Wrestle Nerds is a great group of guys that also cover professional wrestling. I would highly recommend checking them out. Love those guys. And they were so gracious to allow the title defense on the show. And it truly does mean a lot to us. And we've also got Blake Money Wright versus Mike Elgin will be on the card as well. And if you saw their first encounter at the last DCCW show, you know that's going to deliver.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. It's going to be a great show. I mean, if you look, we've seen the card, or at least most of it. On paper, it should be show of the year. I mean, I mean, it's just an outstanding card. You've done a great job. You and Jared and Terry, you guys did a great job. DCCW and yourself have just did a marvelous job of putting this together. And I think it's going to be a blast. We'll have music, going to have food, you're going to have raffles, you're going to have meet and greets. Sounds like it's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm incredibly nervous. I mean, you always want a good turnout. You always want to have your show be a success. And I mean, look, I mean, it's going to be something that will mean something to me for a very long time to come.
No, I don't think you have to worry. You'll sell it out.
Do well.
If you're bringing people from all over Rio, you ain't going to have to worry. What's up, Billy?
We got comments.
So far,
Ryan. We also got Alex Bolton joining us. How's it going, Alex?
Hey, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
So far, as you can tell, I'm not asking you how many tickets you sold, but have you got a pretty good response so far from the Lafayette area?
Oh my goodness, yes. It's been overwhelming, humbling, really. Like, again, like the number we're at right now, I can tell you. Let me just pull it up here on my phone. So I should have been more prepared for this. Wasn't ready for that question. Caught me off guard. Currently, as of the recording of this video, we're at 197 pre-sold tickets.
And you're worried. You're fine.
That's good. That's a good. I mean, some people are going to say, well, I mean, for an independent show to have that many tickets pre-sold, that's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Real good number.
Yeah, and again, I as well. There's going to be donation jars at the entranceway for people that want to donate. An affordable donation. I can't stress that enough. A lot of times when people do fundraisers, there's a little bit of peer pressure and you make gobs of extraordinary amounts of donations. No, if you can only afford $1 or 50 cents, that's enough, man. Like, that's appreciative. That's $1, that's 50 cents we didn't have when we started this thing. And that's $1 or 50 cents that's going to go towards helping those kids. And the thing that, if you take nothing else from this, I want you to take this. The money raised, every single cent from this show, the impact of that does not stop that night. It will continue days, months, weeks, years. It's going to help provide care for these kids, for these adults that do not have the ability to maybe afford some of this stuff or the treatments or hopefully finding a cure for this thing. And again, I know that there's a lot of people out there that have asked about donations. We're going to have a jar at the door. Please feel free to do whatever is affordable for you and your budget.
Yeah, any little bit helps. Speaking of matches, I know we talked about it a little bit, but I don't think we mentioned the 4 guys that was in it, and that was the Fatal 4-Way with the U.S. title and the heavyweight title. Luke Savage is the U.S. champion. Dalton Love is the DCCW champion, but then you have former DCCW champion, and I know he's been champion in other places. He wrestles everywhere. Sam Knight.
Yeah.
Who, if you haven't seen Sam Knight, you need to check him out. He's always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a guy that's been on the rise.
He's been on fire.
I think, as I say, that's about as hot as anybody on the independent scene here lately. And Logan Myers, that Fatal 4-Way with them 4 guys, that's going to be. I'm expecting some fireworks out of that.
Oh yeah, I think that's. I'll be honest, that's probably the match I'm looking forward to the most. And I know them guys pretty well because I've seen them a lot. And I mean, but like I said, there's not pretty much every match you guys got on that card is a main event. You know, I mean, it could be a main event anywhere, honestly. So again, you guys have done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a testament to the character of the people that are willing to help this show and to help provide a night of entertainment. I do know there are going to be some people that are attending that have muscular dystrophy. I was told that personally by the MDA. There are families that have been told about this show that are in the area that are coming. And I mean, for one night, they get to suspend the reality that they live in and hopefully have the absolute best in entertainment from some of the absolute best that professional wrestling on an independent level and actually reaching into AEW and so on and so forth has to offer.
Yeah, it should be great. I got to see Victoria. I wasn't at the show, unfortunately. I couldn't be at that last DCCW show, but I did get to watch it, and she was fantastic, coming out and greeting the fans and stuff. Did a great job, and I expect the same thing from Devon. So sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome.
100%.
Is there anything else you'd like to go over?
Gosh, I think we hit it all. Tickets are still available. You can get them pre-sale. You could also get them at the door if you like, whichever is more convenient for you. I know I've been running all over Lafayette, meeting people for tickets. If they need me to run them to them, I got no problem. I got a full tank of gas. I got no problem. I like driving. It's nice weather currently, so
we'll be tomorrow. Ice scraper tomorrow, but okay.
Hey, Scott, hit those ticket prices again, and also hit the belt open door time and bell time again.
Absolutely,
Please.
yeah. The VIP tables will start at $350, which comes with 8 ringside guaranteed seats, also early access to Devon and Victoria, and a gift bag, care package, if you will, from our sponsors. Now, the items, you can't request what you get. It's you're at the mercy of my 10-year-old daughter. What you get, she's going to put those together. She's just going to point where that rock's going because that rock's like 50 pounds. So we'll have the table starting at $350 with all of that. And front row tickets is $50. Second and third row is $25. All the other floor seats are $15. Bleacher seating is $10. Guys, I'll be honest with you. The layout of this building is phenomenal. Do you have a link where you can donate to the MDA for your show? We do not have a link. The MDA did not give me a link to put up. We have just been sending all of it to my personal Cash App, PayPal, which I've been withdrawing and putting into a jar for the show. So far, it's good. Mike and I haven't really sat to count it yet. We don't want to jinx anything, but we again, whatever is convenient for people is what we'll do.
Just a little background, Scott. Billy Buzz is from Connecticut, one of our big fans, and he's donated money for other. I know for Muncie Central, I believe that show, Bearcat Rumble. He donated for them, and Billy's a great guy, fan. that we all have from Connecticut. I believe from Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. I mean, definitely then he for sure probably knows Mike. Then I'd say definitely reach out to Mike to get a donation.
Because I think he cashed out Mike before.
I think he sent to AJ, but yeah,
Maybe
I'll get him with I'll get him with Mike.
Okay.
I'll get with Mike and see where to send it.
Yeah, just let him know, because if Mike gets random money, he's not going to know what it's for. So
Yeah, we'll make sure.
Well, that
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and I really commend you guys for what you guys are doing, and hopefully everything's going to go good. I'm 99.9% sure things are going to be great. So,
do you guys want a little sneak peek of something before I dip?
Sure.
Mark the calendars, June 29th, 2024. We're doing another one in Lafayette.
Okay.
Next year. Now, the talent that we're bringing in, we got to work that out. But the cause next year will be for juvenile diabetes. That is going to be the cause that we do next year. My co-host on Heated Shenanigans, Colin, his niece died at 16 years old from diabetes. Okay. She had an attack in her sleep, and she bottomed out, and she tragically passed away at the age of 16. And it's something that has really bothered Colin, and he's tried to find a way to help honor her memory. And when we started talking about doing these types of shows, I asked Colin, I said, hey man, like MDA is really close to me. What would your charity be? And without hesitation, he said juvenile diabetes. So 2024, June 29th, it'll be also again at the Lafayette Fairgrounds. It's going to be the juvenile diabetes fundraiser show. We haven't got a name yet. Still a little early.
Well, count us in. That's June 29th. Yeah. Put that on the calendar, Chris.
I just told the social director. So, or will you just make it a memorial show for her then, or?
No. That's the one thing Colin did not want. He did not want to make this all about her, because he knows other people suffer from this. He just unfortunately has personally been affected. Yeah. And he's wanting to do what he can to help give back to the organization as well. And again, we're in talks with some names, big names, Hall of Fame level names for this show. Because again, we want to add as much as we can. Anything that we do, we want it to be the best. We want to have our name associated with quality and a reputable product. That is first and foremost.
Well, it sounds awesome, man. That sounds great. So, like I said, anything we can do to help, we're more willing to help. And like I said, again, looking forward to Friday night.
Absolutely, me too. I want to thank you guys again for letting me have the opportunity to speak with you guys. I love the show. I love what you guys are doing. I love all three of you guys. You are three of the hardest working people in professional wrestling that's not inside the ring. And you guys travel up and down the road. You make as many shows as possible. And I truly appreciate everything you guys do and add to professional wrestling.
So, Marcus, this will be what would this be this weekend for you? So, Friday?
83
for you would be 50 for us.
Heck of an honor, though.
Oh, yeah.
I last year was what, 30. I think we went to 35 to 40 last year.
I think we did 35 last year, so we're at 50 on Friday night.
We're not at Marcus's level yet.
No, we're we could split ours in half and combine them, and then we couldn't get up to Marcus and Kelly.
But I'll drop you a PMI. What we talked about beforehand. In search of a talent, I need to bounce it off of you before I.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for somebody. I might have somebody, but I want to see if you guys are willing to use them.
Yeah.
Even if they're available, I don't know. So I have an idea.
Yeah, God, please, I'm taking them at this point. Whatever you got.
I will say these two people have worked together, and I was in attendance when they did it. So, It's just I don't know if they're available or if you're willing to use them. So I'll PM you.
Oh, please do. Please do.
I think I know what he's talking about too.
Remind me also, Marcus, before I go here, I still have the stuff you won from that subscriber giveaway. I need to bring to you and Kelly. We're going to be in the same building this week, so no better time than this week.
What time are they coming in?
Who?
I figured the ring and everybody.
Oh, brother, we can get there at 8 a.m. I got that building most of the day. So.
Okay, so we can show up anytime.
You guys are always welcome.
All right.
I know the other big thing some people might be interested in, the Hooters girls are going to be at this show as well. The entire shift is coming.
Nice.
All the girls are
They're a sponsor. Gonna be nice.
Just don't buy food from them, right, Tony?
Yeah, the girls are fine. We're not going to discuss anything else. But this is Lafayette, though. This is not Indianapolis. Indianapolis, I'd go berserk, but no, Lafayette, they're good.
Love those guys.
All right, what time doors open again?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Show starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to be an incredible night, guys. And again, I am beyond happy, stressed, but it's been worth it so far.
You know, you wouldn't be a promoter if you wasn't stressed. I know promoters have been doing this for 20 years, and you talk to them 10 minutes before bell time, and they're freaking out still. So
I won't be calm until we've walked out of the building at the end of the night.
You won't be calm until about Monday morning when it finally wears off. Your adrenaline is going to be so high that But yeah, you got a success coming. I see it. I know you're worried, but yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do well.
I'm hoping so. And again, guys, thank you so much for letting me come on here tonight and talk with you guys and these people that have been kind enough to join this chat. I appreciate all of you guys.
Hey, no problem. You're welcome to come on in anytime and talk about one of the shows you guys got coming up. We're big supporters of DCCW as well.
Yep.
We've met you through DCCW and the Heated Shenanigans crew, but yeah, with DCCW, Mike's always been great to us as well.
Fantastic.
So we'll always support anything they're doing, especially something that's like this. It's for a great cause.
Yep.
I appreciate it, guys. Sincerely, I do.
Yep. Anytime.
All right, man. We'll let you get back to your busy schedule, getting things ready for Friday. But we appreciate you coming on and letting everybody know a little bit more information about this Friday night. Doors open at 5, bell time at 7, and hope to see everybody. Where's the building at?
The Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds. The address will be on the flyers that you can find on DCCW's Facebook page, the Heated Shenanigans Podcast Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and even our TikTok. Like if you can get on and waste time on social media, we're there.
And you can also find the flyer on the Gonzo'S Sports Room pages as well.
Yep.
We make sure we post all those flyers as well. So plenty of ways to find it. If you need tickets in advance, reach out to Scott, reach out to Mike King. Hey, reach out to me. I can get a hold of both them guys. So
Terry Coons.
We'll make sure you need it.
Yep, Terry.
Yep, Terry.
Part-time CEO.
Yeah,
that's what I said. That was a quote from him.
That's him. Yep.
All right, man. Well, you have a good evening, and we'll see you on Friday night.
All right, I'll see you guys Friday. Have a safe trip.
All right, we will.
All right, later, gentlemen.
Later. All right.
We'll get started on our independent wrestling report. I guess we'll start off with Thursday night, the show we went to, Thunder or Blunder.
Thunder from the Crypt.
No, Thunder from the Crypt. Well, Thunder Blunder presents Thunder from the Crypt. So we'll start from there. If you guys want to, I don't have the matches in front of me. I will say up front the match of the night for me was the Logan Myers match against Michael Elgin. I thought that was a match of the night for me. But the whole card was good. All the performers did an outstanding job. I thought it was a really good show. It was really solid. I mean, I have no complaints at all about the show.
Oh no, it was a real good show. Kicked off the night with a hell of a match with Logan Myers and Michael Elgin. I mean, that match was awesome. That was the match I was looking forward to the most going into the card. And there's a lot of good matches on there, but I thought that was awesome. I thought Nick Diamond and Shane Mercer was also real good. Blake Wright and Sanji was another
That was an interesting matchup.
Another one I was real interested in. I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head here.
The main event, Jake Chris and
Jake Chris and Dex Royal that was a hell of a match as well to close out the show.
And we had a surprise title change.
I was just
from
giving
another
it up.
company. D-Buck Sexton lost his title to Piper GK Fam. I always get that. Piper, I'll just go with Piper. But GK Fam had us all speechless with that defeat on Thursday night. But, and to think that all our favorite match was Logan versus Michael Elgin, and that was the match they started the night out with. So...
Yeah, but there was all the matches were really good.
You had Ari Alexander against Sarah Dox.
Yep.
Zay Gates and Brutus Dillon.
Yeah, that was a very different matchup. A great big guy and a little guy that flies around. But man, it was
Zay almost hit the damn ceiling on that frog splash.
Oh yeah, he did, man.
Congo versus Jimmy Vincent. That was another big versus small.
Yeah.
There was a bad match on that night.
Yeah, wrestling wise, I mean, the workers put on a great show. Can't.
Hey, we've been almost 50 shows, 49 shows. That's probably at least for me, probably a top 10 or top 15 show that I've seen this year. So I mean, it was a good show. It was a really good show. I thought the performers were great, and it was really solid.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100% on that. And we'll get to see some of them guys here coming up this weekend because Logan Myers and Blake and Elgin are on that card Friday night there in Lafayette.
Yes, they are. Well, then we'll move on into our next show, and that was Sunday night.
Billy's comment is about the just comment is about the Sunday show.
Yep. Perfect timing.
Real quick before we go to the Sunday show, one more thing about the Thunder from Crypt real quick. We were there Thursday night, recorded the show, couldn't go live because of the internet, but we're going to be airing that tonight right after this show. It's supposed to start at 8:05, but once this show's over on YouTube, you'll be able to watch Thunder from the Crypt from Thursday night. So come join us for that. Like I said, the workers put on a great show, and with all the matches that was on there, they deserve for people to see them. Mm-hmm. So make sure you check that out tonight, 8:00 on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room, or on Twitch at Gonzo'S Sports Room as well.
Yeah. And real quick, Alex Bolton's on here. Alex, I just want to give you a shout out for things that you did behind the scenes to help out that show. I'm going to leave it at that. I thought it was really cool of you, and really highly commend you for what you did, and got great respect for what you did. Helping out that show, and then I'll just leave it at that.
The wrestling business needs more people like that involved.
I agree. Man, I thought this year verify the other.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if they can hear me.
Can hear you.
All right, you guys are scrambled bad. We didn't hear anything you said.
Really? What was the last thing that you heard?
Go ahead. You started talking. I think you got ready to talk about Buck's show, and then you started garbling really bad. Okay. We couldn't make out anything you said.
Okay. Did you hear what I said about Alex?
Yes, we heard that, and then I think you was getting ready to go to Buck's show, and then
well,
then you're getting better now. So
okay, I'll say it again. Hopefully, everybody gets it this time. No, I thought Buck's show, the World Pro Wrestling show, for me was maybe the best show they've done this year. Fair Fight might have been a little better. I don't know. I thought this show was outstanding. I thought it was really well put together. My favorite match of the night for that show was Logan Myers and Jeremy Hadley.
Logan had a good week, didn't he?
Oh, like I said, Logan's on fire right now, man. And then when you stop thinking about what he did a couple weeks ago in the main event against Joey Owens, I mean, the man's on fire. But I thought it was a great show. The only downer and things happened was the injury that happened, but that things like that happen. And luckily, I think he's going to be okay. Have you heard anything from him, Marcus?
No, I did talk to Cecil, and I hadn't talked to him today. I couldn't tell you what today's report was. He was pretty sore, hurting, obviously.
He did leave in a walking boot. I do know that.
Yeah, and I gotta commend you. I don't know what did he put? Yeah, the way you guys didn't air that. You didn't even you focused on the poster.
Yep.
And then took a break. I commend that. Yeah.
Well, that was Chris's decision. I mean, he
did. I commend that.
He did that right away, and it was definitely the right move. But he did it right away as soon as it happened. He did that, and we've heard from some other people from Warrior Pro. They were very happy with that too.
Yeah, because he was only 3 seats from us.
Yeah,
I was probably the closest. Well, except for Shelby from the kickstand because it was right in front of her. But I heard it, and it's like I looked at Kelly like that. Yeah, and that's about how I said it. So.
Yeah,
it's or we were out. We couldn't see it real well, but it sounded bad.
Yeah.
Well, he landed on a.
I don't know if it was the way our microphone picked it up, but in my headset it sounded bad, and that's why I was like, well, I don't want to keep it. If he is hurt bad, I don't want to keep the camera here, so that's why I just moved the camera to the screen there on that poster, and then I looked at him and say, "You want to take a break real quick?" I just figured that was the best thing to do, so we can. I mean, the number one thing was make sure that Tyler was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we found out he was okay, and I like the way Warrior Pro handled it too. They made sure he was okay. Then they got the show back up. But then as soon as they found out a little bit of update about him, they let everybody there know what was going on. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, I want to give Tim a shout out, the ring announcer. I thought Tim did a great job of letting the fans, know what's going on. Some fans maybe knew, knowing what the wrestling, what the wrestling business is. He kind of went over that a little bit, how things can happen, and Tim did a really good job.
And the referee, the referee was a young guy, and I mean he checked on the wrestler. He came up, put the X up, and boom. I mean, he made a quick decision, and I like how he handled it. Because and nothing against nobody, but I mean, some referees wouldn't have handled it that well. You just
kind of panicked.
I mean, yeah.
I thought they did a real good job. All the Buck and all the wrestlers came out checking on them. You can tell there were family there, so I thought they did a great job. And luckily, it's not going to be anything serious. It's going to linger for a long time. I don't think so, but you never know. With you bang up your ankle, it could linger for a while. You just don't know.
Then another surprise in the show, you had new Warrior Pro heavyweight champion.
Yes.
After the belt changed hands Thursday night, with like Marcus had said, with Piper GK Fam winning, there was a 4-way in yesterday's show at Warrior Pro, and Blake Money Wright came out as the new Warrior Pro champion. After his match, came over and sat with us for a little bit and talked, and then
he did.
It is looking like the new Warrior Pro champion is going to be making an appearance on the show.
He wants to come on the show
one day this week. He wants to come on and talk about his big win yesterday. So once we get all that 100% ironed out and when it's going to be, we will let everybody know.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about Warrior Pro was the debut of Pitbull. What was his the Pitbull?
Pitbull Omega.
Pitbull Omega made an impression, buddy. I tell you what. Very good. I was really impressed with him.
This thing here that Billy says, it garbled on me. No, they had their pizza in like little pizza boats, and then they had their trash. He landed on that can. They had a pop can in there, and I think that might have helped sprain his ankle because he didn't land directly on the floor. He landed in that boat.
Somebody said like a bag of chips or something.
Yeah. And it slid on him. If he'd hit the floor, I think he'd been fine. But he landed in that trash, and I mean, it happened. But But no, he didn't land on his head. And again, what's that referee's name? Dalton, is that right?
Yes. Dalton.
Yeah, he was right down there. Did their referee check, and Tyler didn't respond back. So Yep.
Tyler told him to call it.
Yeah, Tyler told him, call it. So,
And I'm glad he did, because I guess once before he didn't, and continued the match.
Tyler's stubborn. Love the kid to death, but the kid's stubborn. So yeah, I'm glad he didn't continue.
But I'm glad you brought up the Pitbull Omega, because that was my first time seeing him. Well, I was gonna say live, but seeing him at all.
Yeah,
I've heard of him, but I hadn't seen him, and I was impressed.
Yes, I was
impressed by him yesterday. Hopefully that he comes back to WPW, and I'd like to see him some more
just
organizations.
Just not in the ring. His character, his mic skills. The dude was good, man. It was outstanding. Added something to the show. And he would add something to any show, I'm sure, but it just definitely added to the show.
He also came over and sat down at the announce table for before his match for a few seconds.
Scared old David Lee to death.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we seen him down in Kentucky earlier in the year, so we already had seen him in action. So Kelly recognized him right off. And but yeah, when he come over there and says, "I've eaten sandwiches better than that guy is," we were losing it.
Oh yeah, we did too. That was great.
But yeah, he's an up and up guy. Like I said, we met him down in Kentucky, and yeah, good power.
I'll give Warrior Pro some credit, because last month wasn't it wasn't a bad show, but it wasn't one of their best shows. Yeah. I think the one yesterday it's probably their best show of the year, right up there with the fair fight they had. It was yesterday. They done a real good job, and
I love the show. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm on Sundays. I like watching football, but I had a good time yesterday and really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, that tag team match was really good and really come out and really started to show off with a bang.
I like Hidari and that Christopher Gates as a tag team. I think they go good together.
And it's hard to beat.
And I like Hidari's new attitude.
Yeah, I do too. But it's hard to beat the Beaver Boys, man.
Oh, Beaver Boys!
Them guys are great in the ring, and they're so entertaining. It's hard to beat them guys right now.
Yeah, we seen the flying banana yesterday. That was fantastic.
That was fantastic too. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see banana.
They could just come out and go to all four sides of the ring and do the Beaver Boys, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's how good they are, man. That's how good they are.
All right, I have an update. Dallas, this is directly from Dallas as of like right now. He says it hurts like hell, but it's not that bad. So that's a quote. Kelly just contacted him. So, my only thing about yesterday is I would have liked to seen Blake and GK Fam go a little longer. I'd like maybe they bring him back as maybe Blake's first title defense.
Yeah.
And let's see how those guys could go.
Yeah.
Nothing against Hammer and Scorpion, but they split, obviously.
Yep.
One attacked the other, but yeah, I would have liked to seen Blake and Piper go longer, so maybe they can bring him back and Blake can defend and main event another one.
And talking about Logan being on a roll, he's now the number one contender for that title.
Yep.
And him and Blake going at it would be a good one too. But I agree. I'd like to see Piper back, and I'd like to see them two go at it one-on-one a little bit longer, because what we got to see of them two going at it yesterday was real entertaining.
Well, Piper's a different style, a different style than what they have there. And that's always good to have some different styles in there, on the mic and in the ring. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. But yeah, Warrior Pro knocked it out of the park yesterday. Great show.
If you missed Warrior Pro yesterday, you can find the whole show on our YouTube page at Gonzo'S Sports Room, or on Twitch at Gonzo'S Sports Room. We aired it live yesterday on YouTube, so it's on there. I'll be breaking it down into single matches and getting that up on our YouTube and Facebook pages here in the next couple of days.
Okay, well, we're going. You guys got anything else on that?
One more thing. Kripke did become the number one contender against Jackson Morgan for Jesse Winchester's title. So, and Jesse and Cecil Cerveza was an outstanding match that I seen in Illinois at Cecil's show. So I'd already seen them guys and knew what they could do. And I thought those two matches needed to be brought up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
Outstanding. So.
Yeah, they put on a good match. Like I said, I'd like to see where the Tyler Scott and Zay match was going to go.
Yeah, I would too.
Because with both them guys being able to fly a little bit, I thought it was going to be an interesting match. And unfortunately, it got cut short, which was nobody's fault. I mean, unfortunately, injuries happen.
Well, hopefully, we'll see it again down the road.
Hopefully, we could see that. But Jesse Winchester, I mentioned this yesterday on the show. The work he's put in since that knee surgery, he's really came back and really working his way up the ranks, and you can see a big improvement in him.
Well, if you look at him from a year ago to now, too, you can tell he's beefed up, too.
Yep.
His shoulders and arms are getting pretty muscular, and yeah.
Well, you guys ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get going. First thing, Marcus, I believe you watched NWA Power.
Yeah.
What did you think of the show?
I thought it was good. I thought this was a good week.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
All right. NWA 131, see you in hell. That's what they say. All right. What do you want to know? Did you watch it too?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought the tag matches were really good. I thought they were really old school, but they were really good.
I like Blunt Force Trauma. Kind of reminded me of Doom.
Yep. But
I did like Blunt Force Trauma. There was another tag team on there that I really liked too. What was it? Had to be the one that didn't here. Magic Incorporated. That was fantastic.
Yes.
Even had their sideshow. They even had their lady.
Yeah, the lady comes out the whole time, and she the whole time they was wrestling. She'd be at the ring doing like this,
just like a magic assistant. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
the whole time.
Nobody ever come up with that before.
Yeah, it was good. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Pretty and Power. Let me say they play the gimmick like Juwan Thomas plays his gimmick. They're very good at what they do. Yeah, just the way they're arrogant little ladies. I'll leave it at that.
That's what
they know how to run.
That's what you was going to say, Marcus. That's not what you was going to say.
Well, you know what I was going to say, but they know how to play their part, and they do very well at it.
Yeah, they do. They do. Okay. I was the only one to watch this. I'll go over it real quick. I watched the NWA pay-per-view from Saturday night. So I'll go through it real quick. I'm going to be straight up honest. The first match was the Ultimate Hardcore Tag Team War. The crowd liked it. I didn't care for it. I thought it was a mess. I'm just going to be honest. But the match of the night, the first two matches I thought was kind of mediocre for me. The fans seemed to love it. So, yeah, I guess you can't argue. But the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, Kobe Carino versus Joe Alonzo, I thought it was match of the night. I thought it was fantastic. They went all over that theater. I just thought it was great. That was match of the night. Had Southern Six defeat the Headbangers in a rock and roll match. And the stipulation on that was every time you try to pin a guy and it failed, you had to drink a shot. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was a good, entertaining match. Also, shout out to Indiana's own Alice Crowley. She made an appearance on the show as one of the bartenders, and it also slapped the crap. I believe it was out of Kerry Morton, if I remember right. But she made an appearance. Hopefully, she's going to be wrestling for them because she's outstanding. So shout out to her. The submission match with Jackson Dane and Blake Troop, I thought was pretty good. Jackson Dane won it. That Blake Troop's a big son of a gun. Then we had the NWA National Champion Heavyweight Championship, Silas Mason against Chris Adonis. Thought it was a real strong match. I thought it could have been a little longer, but Silas Mason won that. Then we had the Women Heavyweight Championship, Kenzie Page against Rufy J. Good match. Kenzie Page held on to her title. The last two matches was the NWA Tag Team Championship, Blunt Force Trauma against Knox and Murdoch, in a Knights of a Round Table match. What that was, you had to put a guy through a round table, and supposedly their manager was supposed to be banned from ringside, but he was dressed up as a knight and got interfered in the match, and they won the match. Main event was Tom Latimer against EC3 for the NWA title. EC3 hung on to the title when Matt Cardona come down and interfered and cost Latimer the match. Pretty strong pay-per-view. I didn't think it was quite as good as the last one because of the first two matches, but I think their production's got to get better for the pay-per-views. I think their TV production's gotten better, and they've signed that deal with CW and probably be starting on CW sometime in 2024. But they get their production for pay-per-views got to get better.
All right, real quick, Blake Wright had a question. I'm assuming for Marcus, because he said, other than my wrist tape, do you have any other BMW items?
Yes. I got the photo you took with my camera that you signed. You popped some balloons one night and had them signed. I'm sure I got more stuff. So, yes, I got more ring used Blake Wright merchandise stuff. So, but yeah, that's funny. I couldn't believe everything everybody said about that nasty stuff they said about the ring tape.
Yeah, I've seen
Tony
that.
brought it over to me because you threw it on the table, and he said, "Here, you want this?" This was Blake, so I said, "Yeah." So there it is. I already got the card in.
Well, Chris was one said.
Well, I said Marcus will want that.
Because he collects everything, so I took it over to you.
Yep, got a dated site at who you worked, and see me at 20 years if I'm still alive, and they're probably all moldy and nasty by then, but I'll have it. So
he said bring it to the next show.
well, that'll be Friday. That'll be Friday.
Yep. Well, real quick, I'll go over the other TV shows that were this week. Monday Night Raw, I thought was a real good show. Hey, Jey Uso's a star, doing fantastic. Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn put on a great match. Alpha Academy and the New Day did an outstanding match, and I thought Raw was pretty good. Pretty good show. Next up, AEW Dynamite. The highlights from that was Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson beat Okada and Orange Cassidy. One note coming out of that, Bryan Danielson broke his orbital bone during that match and will be out till 2024. It looks like, at least. Thought it was a decent show. Highlight, of course, was MJF. He usually is on that show. NXT Halloween Havoc. I love the show. I thought it was the best show of the week. It featured 5 women's matches. I thought they just did a great job. That's risky to at this day and time to feature that many women's matches. They still did a knockout rating. Still did real well. Big match on there was Laya Valkyrie defeating Becky Lynch for she's the new NXT champion. That was a shock. And also Chase U beating the Family. And now they're the new NXT tag team champions. And then the last one is Friday Night SmackDown. Roman Reigns and LA Knight had a great segment to open the show with a contract signing. Thought it was really good. Leading up to Crown Jewel, which is this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. John Cena did a great promo. Thought went real well, talking about his he's been on a losing streak he hasn't won a match on TV in I don't know how many years. So they've been playing that up. Great match between Dragon Lee and Cedric Alexander, who hadn't been seen on TV for a long time. Showed what he could do. I thought it was real good. And then the main event was LA Knight beating Jimmy Uso. Thought it was a good show. They're really pushing LA Knight, doing a really good job. Next up, I believe, Marcus, if you're ready to do your Indiana highlight.
Well, I'll do history first. Got some good ones on here this week. We're going to first do one from yesterday. This was actually yesterday, but it sparked it. Yesterday, 38 years ago, yesterday was the Dusty Rhodes poor man, eating beans, sleeping in ditches promo that he cut. Yeah. 38 years, almost 4 decades, and it's still one of the best promos out there. And when I seen that, it's Hard Times promo.
Yep. Hard Times.
Queens, pork and beans and all that. So 4 decades later, and it's still one of the top promos to this day. So that was 38 years ago yesterday. Then we'll go to 1977. 46 years ago today, 1977, Ric Flair and Greg Valentine won the NWA World Tag Team titles, which was the Mid-Atlantic version, from the Andersons. Let's see. Try to keep these in order. All right, 2001. Christian defeated Bradshaw on SmackDown to win the European Championship, which would be due. I never cared for the European title, and Booker T and Test won the WWF Tag Titles, beating Chris Jericho and The Rock. Hope I missed one. 1990. Oh, here you go. Bit of this info. TV taping for the main event in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The famous Phantom title change in wrestling history. The Rockers defeated the Hart Foundation for the tag belts. The title change reportedly took place because Jim Neidhart was due to leave the company, and a title change was required, but a few days later he agreed to a new contract, so management put the belts back on the Hart Foundation, even though the Rockers had made numerous title defenses at house shows. So before kayfabe really hit, nobody knew about that if you weren't in an arena somewhere and just happened to see it. So
Yeah.
Because I don't think they even aired that. They didn't even air that on TV.
Yeah, it was 2 out of 3 falls, I believe.
We'll do an AEW one. 4 years ago tonight, tag team champions SCU, the team of Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian.
Yep, Frankie Kazarian.
Defeated the Lucha Brothers in a tournament final. October 30th, 1977. Oh, here, this is interesting. This is what they call the historical coincidence. On October 30th, 1977, at the Mid-South Coliseum, which means this was probably in Buck Sexton's ring, Jerry the King Lawler teamed with Bill Dundee to face Phil Hickerson and Dennis Condrey in an elimination match. Do you know Phil Hickerson? I don't know if I know.
I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
And then 10 years later, in 1987, the original Midnight Express, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose beat Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler to win the AWA tag team titles. And what else I got? I got one more. 2016 King of the Ring pay-per-view. Charlotte Flair defeated Sasha Banks to become her second title reign as the WWE Ladies Champion. So that's our this week in history of stuff that I thought people like to hear, because there's a lot of stuff on there. It's like, oh, I don't think I care about that.
Yeah, Billy Buzz, there's an update on the Mexican jumping beans. They're still hopping around.
We just had the third one jump in there just a second ago.
Yeah.
Okay, Indiana Highlight. We're going to break this up in 2 weeks because it's Mick Foley, and Lord, we all know Mick Foley has one heck of a career behind him. So we're going to do pre-WWE, and I didn't even touch part of it. I just grabbed stuff out of it. So this week will be pre-WWE. Next week will be the WWE career of Mick Foley. Of course, he was Michael Francis Foley, also known as Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love. Born in Bloomington, Indiana, June 7th, 1955.
Marcus, he had another name. Do you remember the one he had from WCW? Not for very long.
No, I guess I don't.
I don't know how many weeks it was, but he was known as Captain Jack.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to his book? You ever read the big book that he come out with?
I don't
he
think
talks
so.
about that because his girlfriend called him, well, how long have you been Captain Jack? Because he was at a carnival. So he went with that Captain Jack shit for a little bit, but then he didn't like it. So, but yeah, after you said that, I remember the story. Yeah. So again, born June 7th in 65 in Bloomington. Of course, he's worked in the WWF, WCW, ECW, TNA, and NWA. I may have to break this up in 3 times because he did a lot of after WWE also.
Yeah.
Of course, he was in attendance at Madison Square Gardens for the Jimmy Snuka versus Don Morocco famous leap off the top of the cage, and he was there, and you can see it. Oh, he's got his sign. That's pretty cool. Yeah. If you ever get time, Tony, and put watching it aside and want to read some stuff, that book is really good.
Okay, I will have to do something.
But you gotta have time because it's like I said, it's like huge. He was trained by Dominic Nucci. He was on Superstars where he teamed with Les Thornton against the Bulldogs. We know that story.
Yep.
Stiff. He went to Bill Watts UWF, and then he went to Continental Wrestling Association, and with Gary Young was part of the Stud Stable. And I remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I do remember that because remember when Bonnie Blackstone and Joe Penasino did Pro Wrestling This Week, UWF was one of their big because they were part of the UWF, so they concentrated more on that company. Yeah, I remember that. WCW 1989-1990 as Cactus Jack debuted with Rick Fargo versus the Steiners, which is another very stiff team.
Yeah.
I always thought to see the Steiners versus the Bulldogs and see who could beat the shit out of each other because those guys were stiff on everybody.
Yep.
Then he feuded with Fargo, and then we know the 12-foot apron leap of elbow drop where if you read the book, he was too far away. And once you get to running, you can't stop. And he just kind of threw his arm out there to kind of make contact with him. So, yeah, you need to read that book. There's some good stuff in there. He worked with Mil Mascaris at Clash of the Champions 10 in a Texas shootout. Then he left WCW and worked the Indies and All Japan and USWA. Wrestled Eddie Gilbert in a barbed wire match in the Global Wrestling Federation. Came back and did a lot of house shows for WCW from 91 to 94. At Clash of the Champions 16 Fall Brawl, busted out of the box and attacked Sting. I went back to watch that.
Yep.
And then at Clash of the Champions 20, he versus champion Ron Simmons, and I went back and watched that too. Then, of course, from 93 to 94, the famous feud with Vader, the infamous powerbomb on the concrete floor. He goes into detail in that book as well about what happened there. And he wanted Jim Ross to make a big deal about it. And Jim Ross, he just took a powerbomb. So I don't have a lot about his ECW and Japan stuff, but I do know the IWA Japan King of the Death matches highlighted by the barbed wire rope explosion, barbed wire boards, exploding ring, where he burned his arm up. I have that on tape somewhere. That stuff, I'm not a death match, but man, that was brutal. I've never seen anybody pour blood out of their head more than Terry Funk and Cactus Jack did. I mean, they were just pouring it like they were pouring it out of a bucket.
Well, it was in Japan, I believe, where was it in Japan or Germany? Him and Vader had that match, and he got caught in the ring and tore off his ear.
I think that was Germany.
Okay. I was either Japan or Germany, but I couldn't remember which one.
But yeah, and that deathmatch stuff was, like I said, I'm not a deathmatch fan, but man, I'll still go back and watch that. That was brutal.
Justin Danger said Germany.
Yep, that's right.
Has Justin Danger, have you read that book? Have you read that book, dog? No, if you do, Toby, get that book, read it. Oh, man, it is fantastic. And it was all WWF stuff. I mean, he does talk about WCW, but he hadn't been to TNA and all that yet. So
yeah,
he wrote most of that on an airplane, I think. Because somebody said he couldn't do it, and he just started writing. Yep, good stuff. So that's what I have. Next week we'll do more, and then I'll decide if we'll do a third week or if I can get it all in the rest next week. Because remember, he's the commissioner for a while. He was Mankind. He was Duke Love. He was Mick Foley. He brought Cactus Jack in. He was the commissioner for a while. And
Hell, you can almost do one show on just talking about him and Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on. And our big topic for this week was Halloween Havoc. And we were supposed to come up with our list of our favorite Halloween Havoc matches, and then also scary or spooky type matches. Didn't necessarily have to be Halloween Havoc matches. And anybody want to volunteer to go first?
Well, I go first, I guess. You want to do the top matches first, and then we'll do the scary stuff later?
Yep. Do your top 10 or whatever top matches of Halloween.
All right. You guys are freezing up a little bit again. I heard what you said. You just...
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll do mine, and maybe it'll settle down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Well, they're in order as in when they happened. I did not do any WWE Halloween Havoc stuff. This was all WCW stuff pre-2000. 1989, Ric Flair and Sting versus the Terry Funk and Muta in the Thunderdome match. Special referee. Do you remember who the special referee was?
Yes, I do. I probably wouldn't have, but I just watched the match. I just watched the match yesterday. Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, I watched it. Friday when Kelly was uptown. Yep. 1990, Stan Hansen versus Lex Luger for the U.S. title. 92, Ricky Steamboat versus Brian Pillman. I've seen Ricky Steamboat versus Brian Pillman in a cage in Indianapolis, and those guys were fantastic. In 1992, also in 1992, Sting versus Jake the Snake Roberts in the Wheel of Doom. Spin the wheel. Coal miner's glove. Snake bit Jake in the cheek. 93, Vader versus Cactus Jack, Texas Death Match. 94, Hogan versus Flair, Cage versus Career. All right, Alex. Will we see you Friday or not? Coal miner's glove. Yep. And then I just happened to see a coal miner's glove in Illinois last week. So.
Yeah, good night, Alex. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
So, Cage versus Career, where Flair lost, and of course he retired for 3 weeks, whatever it was. 1997, Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Eddie Guerrero. How could you not like a match like that?
Yep.
97, Randy Savage versus DDP, sudden death match. And that basically I had to look that up because I couldn't remember what it was. That's basically last man standing. See, you guys are laughing because you're writing stuff that I wrote down too, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got stuff.
97, Piper versus Hogan in the cage. 98, Goldberg versus DDP. And they happened to air that on Nitro the very next night because something happened with the feed for the pay-per-view.
Do you know what happened? What the story is?
I can't remember. I do remember it was on the next night, and I watched it on.
The pay-per-view back then had strict time limits. You had like 3 hours or whatever. They ran over time.
Okay. I just know they put it on the air the next night. So
yeah, because and they even say that was one of their main things that started their downfall. You know, they wasn't looking at details, and they pointed that out. And perfect example was that pay-per-view where had all these people watching, and the match ends on TV and it goes blank, and people didn't see the finish. And like you said, they aired it the next night on TV.
And I had another. I don't know what year it was. It was a street fight between the Nasty Boys versus Terry Funk and Buckhouse Bug. I don't know what year that was. I just remember that in my head.
Yep.
So I think that was 11, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I had 11.
Okay.
Well, Marcus had some of the ones I had. But I'll go through the ones I had, and then I have a few that Glenn had sent me as well. I had the Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio title versus mask match. Bret Hart versus Sting U.S. title match. Jericho versus Raven 1998 television title match. Goldberg versus DDP 1998. Then I had Vader versus Cactus Jack Texas Death Match. Macho Man versus DDP Last Man Standing. I think Marcus mentioned that one.
Yep.
Steamboat versus Pillman 1992. Hogan and Flair Steel Cage retirement match. I don't think I wrote the year down on that. And then I had Steiner Brothers versus the Nasty Boys, 1990.
Oh, I wonder how I missed that one.
I had mine in order. My number 10 was Steamboat and Flying Brian, 1992. My number 9 was Jake the Snake Roberts versus Sting in the Coal Miners match. My number 8, this was an NXT one, Raquel Gonzalez versus Rhea Ripley. Really good match. Number 7, another NXT, was Ciampa versus Braun Breaker in 2021. Number 6 was Vader and Cactus Jack, Texas Death Match. Texas Death Match and a Last Man Standing. So it was kind of a combination there. Number 5 was Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest in a Falls Count Anywhere match in 2020 for NXT. Number 4 for me was Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko, 1996 Cruiserweight match. Really good match. Number 3 was the Steiner Brothers and the Nasty Boys, which you said. My number 2 was Stunning Steve Austin and Dustin Rhodes in 1991.
I watched that match
That was a really good match
earlier
man.
today. It was real good.
Yep. And then my number 1 was Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio in 1997.
Glenn had sent me a few matches. He had Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio in 1997. Everybody has that one.
Yeah.
Some people think that is right up there as the best match of all time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then he had Flair Sting versus Muda and Funk. Bruno as the guest referee. Goldberg versus DDP 1998. He had Luger versus Pillman U.S. title 1989. And he had the Cactus Jack Vader match. And he put honorable mention Hogan Giant and the debuting Yeti. But he put laughing my ass off, not being serious on that one.
Well, I knew it wasn't when you said Yeti. It's like, yeah, Glenn's throwing in a funny in there. It was good to see Glenn. Glenn sat next to us yesterday. Well, kind of. We were at one corner, he had the other. It was pretty nice talking to Glenn yesterday. So
Glenn's a good guy. Well, yeah, he's at the basketball game, I believe.
Yeah, that's where David and Buck and all them. That's why David's not on here tonight too.
Yeah, Dave sent me a message, said he was going to watch our show as soon as he got home from the basketball game.
Well, next up, we got the scary and spooky matches and moments, stuff like that. So I'm going to go first this time. My number 1 for my scary and spooky was the Buried Alive match in Buried Alive match 1996. Undertaker Mankind.
I was there.
Yep, it was. This one's a crazy one. Barbed wire Christmas tree match. Silent Night, Bloody Night. That was Abyss, Black Rain, and Relic and Shark Boy. That was in TNA, and it is nuts.
Shark Boy. My son used to love Shark Boy.
He did.
Shark Boy is going to be in the area, or if he hasn't already.
Yeah.
Soon.
Number 3 for me was Halloween Havoc Street Fight, the Nasty Boys against Terry Funk and Buckhouse Buck. Excuse me, not Bunk, Buck. Number 4 was a Bloodbath match, Edge and Gangrel. Next, number 5, this was a weird match. It was at WrestleMania back when all the COVID and stuff. Firefly Funhouse match with Cena and Bray Wyatt. Number 6 was Hangman's Noose match, Kevin Sullivan and Blackjack Mulligan in Florida. Number 7,
What year
Inferno match.
What year was that?
I forgot to put down the year, but it was probably late 70s.
Yeah, I was going to say, man.
Number 7, Inferno match, Undertaker and the Kane, 1998. Some moments, Diesel opening the casket and seeing himself in that feud with the Undertaker. Another one was Liz and Randy's wedding reception, spoiled by Jake Roberts and the Snake in the present. And the other one was Undertaker locking the Warrior in a casket. That was mine. Let's go next.
I don't have any for
Oh,
this.
you didn't have anything for that?
What?
What the hell?
Yesterday when I asked him what it was, the only thing he told me was the Halloween Havoc.
He don't listen.
All right, well, I don't got enough for you, Chris. You can have half of mine. So
Okay, see, he helps you.
I had Taker casket matches, Yokozuna. Remember that gigantically large
Yes.
casket so Yoko could fit in it. The Chamber of Horrors match.
Oh, what a block.
The Chamber of Horrors match. I put that kind of on the funny, but after I watched that, it's like, well, that's where Abdullah got cooked in the chair.
Yeah.
And the Coal Miners Love match. I had a Lumberjacks with belts. I don't remember what I pulled that off of. Las Vegas Sudden Death match. And then for stupid, I had Hogan versus the Warrior in WCW. I just stuck that on this list, so because it wasn't anything anybody cared to see, really, but all the time.
And then, so yeah.
I had Diesel when he sees himself in the coffin, Warrior in the coffin, Snake invades Savage and Liz's wedding, when the Boss Man got hung. You remember that, where they hung the Boss Man over the top rope?
Yeah.
And then Big Show's father in the coffin.
Yep. Yeah.
Pepper the dog.
Yeah, they peppered the dog. Pepper steak.
And then some scary stuff. Remember when Shawn Michaels collapsed?
Yeah.
It had something to do with Owen Hart, I think. In Beyond the Mat, when Rock hits Mick Foley with chairs in front of his family repeatedly.
Yeah.
Papa Shango curses the Ultimate Warrior. I was live for one of those. That was fantastic stuff.
Yep.
Come out with that skull with the smoke coming out of the eye, and oh man, that was some good stuff. Taker buried alive, and Mankind Hell in the Cell, of course, where he got thrown off the top. So, and I'm sure there's more, but that's just what I had. So,
well, thought we had a good show. Just to let everybody know what we're going to be doing next week, we got some new segments we're going to be adding. Just listen to this.
right now, Chris.
Yeah, right now. For next week's show, which will be, if I remember correctly, November 6th, we'll have our pro wrestling report and indie wrestling report as usual. Marcus will probably finish up his Mick Foley part 2 and 3, maybe, with the spotlight. Also, some things we're adding. We're going to be doing the Gonzo'S Sports Room top wrestlers of the month for the month of October. And what we'll be doing is Marcus will put together a list, I'll put together a list, and Chris put together a list, and we'll put out a top 5, 6, 7 together. We'll work together and put our list together of the top wrestlers that we've seen around the state or maybe even out of state sometimes. We'll do that each month starting next month, and that will be for the November 6th will be for the month of October. Also, I'll be doing Tony's top pro wrestlers from like WWE, Impact, AEW, and stuff like that. I'll be doing a list of that every week. And then also next week, we'll be doing a Bleachers Report bracket of the top 32 high flyers of all time.
And we'll be covering 2 shows.
Yes.
We'll be covering Friday's DCCW fundraiser and also the vet show at the Dub on Sunday.
Yeah, 2 big shows, two great shows, and for 2 great causes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Austin.
Okay, Austin. So you need to come up with your top 5. Well, I don't know if you can, though. You don't get
he
out.
can't do that. He might be able to come up with a list for the top pro wrestlers of October. He watches a lot of wrestling, too.
Well, not let him do that. He can do the stuff, the big time.
Yep.
The stuff he sees.
Got homework, Austin.
If he wants to. If not, then be like your dad and don't do it. So.
Yeah, just be like Chris, no pay no attention. Oh, I know. You didn't say that to me. Oh, crap.
Hey, last time Austin didn't watch the NWA. I watched the NWA.
That's true. You did.
Hey, I'm telling you, Tony, that's some good stuff. Yep. I mean, it's only an hour long, so it's not like I have to sit there for 3 hours and watch it. And
I might have watched the second show right before our show, but I watched it.
That's true. That's true.
You know, that NWA stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, it's old school. It's right up my alley. I don't know. I worry about it a little bit on CW. They're going to have to freshen it up, I think, to make it.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to make it on the big time because demographics has changed so much. And I liked one of them promos, but now I can't remember what the promo was. So it must not have been too good if I can't remember what it was. But when he said it, I thought, well, that's classic.
Well, that one with Kerry Morton and them doing that, and they're trying to be the Freebirds, basically, in a way.
Let me look at my notes. I just rolled all over the place. Because when they cut away to those promos, one of them guys said something. Oh, shit. I know about it here. Oh, let's see what this says.
That's not too bad. Only giving up 50 3 in the first half, a little over 25 points a quarter. That's get a little better, but that's not too bad.
Oh yeah, okay. It's when they were interviewing Knox and Murdoch, and Knox said that he's tired. He don't know who these guys was because they're in masks, and he apologizes to his labor. He got kicked out of the Homeowners Association because he went over and beat the shit out of his labor. Found out he's not the one that's been wearing
the mask. Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off. Like, all that is classic stuff right there.
But you were talking about some crazy crap during that pay-per-view. They did a segment where they went to the manager of he was kind of the host of the show for the real evil dude, the crazy beard,
Sinister Minister.
Sinister Minister. He was having a party, and he had girls dressed up in Halloween costumes and stuff, and they go to a table. Them crazy nuts have got supposedly cocaine down on the table, doing lines of cocaine, whiskey bottles, drinking whiskey. He's got a spoon, snorting something out of a spoon. I'm like, what the hell? This is not the Attitude Era. That was on pay-per-view at least.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the hell?
There was a show somewhere, I don't think it was the NWA show, but where they were dressed up. Somebody was dressed. One of the wrestlers was dressed up as that Tyrone Bigham's Dave Chappelle character.
No, it was NXT show this weekend.
Yeah,
it was NXT show weekend. Dressed up as Tyrone Bigham's and had the white lips and the nose and
so I saw that. It surprised the hell out of me.
Yep, yeah, I seen that too.
Did you happen to hear? I don't know who said it. I think it was in the main event, and somebody said, "You make me want to drown in a hot tub." I thought, I think that's a little too early to be saying shit like that. But I looked at Kelly. Did you get that? Don't you?
Yeah. Have you seen Jeremy Hadley's post?
Maybe he said it. He might have said it.
Probably because 5 minutes after that happened, he was all over it. Well, okay, guys, everybody have a good night, and we'll get out of here, and hopefully everybody had a good time.
Yeah, join us here in just a few minutes. We'll be airing the Thunder from the Crypt from last Thursday night on our YouTube page. I'll be getting that going here in just a few minutes right after we end this. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Gonzo'S Sports Room as well. We appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys next Monday.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss me.